Welcome back, TTS Daily Thursday edition with me, Yi Yi. 3 stories. First up, showcasing the bond of Singapore and Malaysia as captured by CCTV. Okay, actually, mobile phone. Next up, in South Korea, they banned mobile phones in schools. More on that later. Lastly, a boy was left stranded in a China highway, some sort of Asian parenting style. You be the judge of it. Welcome back, mates or mateys. What do we have here? Spotted in the early morning before 8 AM at a JB Petrol kiosk is the Singapore Bro. This allegedly happened on 26 August 2025, where the Singapore Bro who loves visiting JB for the cheap food, cheap good food, cheap clothes, cheap haircut, and especially cheap petrol. SG Bro can be seen here feeding his Singapore carriage with the Petronas Premix 95, except there is one problem. The Singapore carriage does not suit a diet of Premix 95. It will get sick. So here enters JB Bro, looking really slick in his batik shirt, walking up to SG Bro. Bro, be careful. This is Petronas Premix 95. Your car might get sick. It's not suitable to eat this, to drink this. Look here at the wall. It's all written here, bro. I'm just want to make sure that your car is safe. SG Bro was so touched, telling JB Bro, I'm sorry, I'm wearing glasses. I didn't know. I have yellow-red color deficiency and also 5-7 numeral deficiency. I must have gotten them mixed up. Let me just stop pumping here and drive over to the 97 pump. JB Bro turns tails, shakes his head in approval, and walks back to his Malaysian registered carriage, where he will later enjoy feeding his carriage with Petronas Premix 95. Breaking news, South Korea just banned mobile phones in schools. Elementary and middle schools during class hours, effective March 2026. Okay, this bill was just passed on August 27, 2025 in South Korea. And no surprise, in Singapore we don't even need such a bill because mobile phones are already generally banned in primary school, secondary school, limited usage in polytechnics, JC and such. And it differs from school to school in Singapore. Most of them don't allow you to bring in mobile phones. If you do, you're allowed to bring. You might need to store them in the bags, in the lockers and such. And for polytechnics and JC, you're not even allowed to bring them into lecture halls or classes and such. So what is this? Is Singapore more advanced education policy-wise compared to South Korea? You know what? In South Korea, it is also actually not allowed in elementary and middle schools. So what actually happened here in South Korea? Why are they banning something which is already not allowed in their schools? So the difference was, initially, all these rules pertaining to mobile phones in South Korea, just like in Singapore, all happened at a school level. What South Korea just did made it into a national level. This is the difference. Because as you know, you have to understand, some children can get pretty scary. Some parents can get even more scary. And some teachers will get frightened, okay? So now that mobile phones are banned on a national level, this means schools now have the right to enforce them. In elementary and middle school in South Korea, no more mobile phones during class hours. You have to store them in the bag, in the locker, wherever, but not during. You're not allowed to use them during class hours. Outside of class hours, fine. So there will be no more complaints from students or parents complaining like, this is against my rights, this is my personal mobile device, I have to carry it with me at all times. Nope, it is now enforced on a national level, and not really surprising, parents around the world are rejoicing this, and also, calling out maybe for other countries to follow suit, because mobile phones in class is actually part of smartphone addiction. Children having classroom distractions, negative impacts on academic performances, and you know what? Too much mobile phone actually restrict children's emotional development. Yep, so type 1 if you think it should be enforced on a national level in your place of residence too. Listen, I'm back. Obviously, exceptions are allowed, for emergency services, for educational activities, or even some children who might really need phones at their side for really important cases. So, this is South Korea we're talking about, not exactly their neighbor. So, yeah. This month in China, an angry father told his son to get out of his car on a busy highway. Asian parenting gone wrong. This is your last story of the day. Follow us for more. Okay, so this just literally happened this month. A father surnamed Wang, Mr. Wang, okay, from Zhejiang province actually told his 7 to 8-year-old son to get out of his car because he was constantly quarreling with his elder brother. So what basically happened was they were on a highway, a very busy highway, and his younger son, 7 to 8 years old, keep on striking out at his elder brother. First time he told his younger son, "Stop hitting your elder brother." His son says yes, and he struck out again for a second time. And that father, Mr. Wang, lost his patience and told his son, "Get out of my car right now." And so his kid really did. He dropped his kid off along a busy highway. And that was when a motorcycle travel influencers again, found a boy and recorded a video that went viral and also questioned the 7 to 8-year-old boy, "What are you doing alone at this busy highway?" The child explained, "My father told me to get out of the car because I keep hitting out at my older brother." So the influencer was shocked, called the dad, and the dad said, "Yeah, don't worry, I know. I'm just teaching my son a lesson. I'm just trying to scare him, okay? And don't worry, my wife is on the way to pick up my younger son." So we think about it again. How is your wife going to pick up your younger son if you already drove off? Are you driving back here? Well, you know what? It is a really busy highway, and guess what? The next exit is going to be a long distance away. And even after exiting, you still have to make a one giant detour to go back to the place where you drop off your younger son, right? Not really exactly smart way of Asian parenting to teach a lesson to your younger son, am I right? So you know what? He actually let his wife down, and his wife is walking back around 1 to 2 or 3 kilometers backwards to hopefully retrieve their younger son, who is 7 to 8 years old, along a busy highway. Hopefully the younger son doesn't do anything rash or get, there is a busy highway, there's a lot of cars, heavy vehicles, Not exactly the best way of Asian parenting. Look, I know Asian parenting, okay? I wasn't exactly the sweetest angel growing up, okay? I've heard it so many times. How many times I've heard this sentence, "I'm gonna drop you off at a boy's home." Look, but it didn't happen, okay? So, most of us growing up in Asia, we know this, okay? Parents will suddenly say, "I'm gonna drop you off at a boy's home, I'm gonna drop you off here." This father literally did what he said. He dropped his boy along a busy highway with little consideration for the boy's safety. You should know this is in China where kids can go missing just because parents or guardians turn their vision away from them for a few seconds, okay? Your kid to you is a commodity to some really demented individuals out there. And even more so leaving him along a busy highway. Anyway, never mind. Okay, thankfully the influencer found the young boy, waited for the mother and father to retrieve him, okay? And an enforcement vehicle was nearby and the boy was handed over to the police for safety. Mr. Wang then apologized to his son on social media, stating that he only drove 1.5 kilometers ahead and the boy had just walked 2 minutes before being found. I mean, is it exactly 1.5 kilometers before you drop your wife off to walk backwards to claim your son? We don't know. And you should know that the boy walked for just 2 minutes without being found is because thanks to that kind travel influencer, right? His mileage might vary whether or not people are actually stopping him to help him or to treat him as a commodity. Once again, Mr. Wang apologizing to his son on social media because of backlash on social media. Anyway, once again, Mr. Wang explaining, "I'm just frightening my kid." Asian parenting, right? Asian parenting is just scaring. You don't really exactly do it to such certain extents, okay? You want to drop him off somewhere to scare him, maybe drop him off somewhere where you can actually monitor him safely and he is in a safe area, sir. Mr. Wang, hello? the outrage and backlash from social media is so great. Besides apologizing to his son on social media, Mr. Wang also had to post a video later that month in August where the boy now has to state that he was fine. My parents treat me so good, you know, it's my fault I always bully my older brother, and look, I'm very happy and safe, I'm eating barbecue right now. Yeah, GG, well played, Mr. Wang.